Team Jackson, what's happening? So I just got this DM from a young lady asking me, why is it that dudes like to wait until they're in their mid-40s and 50s to finally want to settle down and look for them a wife? My guess is she's frustrated that that's all who she has to choose from, and looking for a serious relationship partner are the guys from this age group that's far older than her, or she's curious enough to want to give one of them a shot. But let me say this, sometimes a dude just so happens to be a little older and still looking. He didn't want to settle for just anything. Maybe he was already in a committed relationship and it didn't work out, and that's fine. And then you got those guys who did want a serious relationship partner, but they identified some ways that they needed to change. They identified some areas they needed to heal, and it took them some time to do so, and that's cool too. But based on her DM, it sounded like she referring to one of these guys that waited until they was 45, 50 years old, and they said, you know what, I'm not getting any younger. Even though I've never had any interest in settling down, I might as well. That's a completely different ball game, because those dudes usually fit into one of two categories. The first one is he's settling down by biological default. Life is forcing him to settle down. His homeboys that are his age, they're creating distance between them because they got families and children and wives. The wives looking at them crazy for still hanging with a dude who's on the same stuff he was on whenever he was a teenager, 20-something years old, trying to get in free before 11 at the club, and he got gray hair and bald spots everywhere. So now he got new homeboys that's half his age calling him Mr. because those are the only ones still impressed that he can pull holes. So by default, life has made him look so foolish doing those things that now he's saying, you know what, I might as well go ahead and settle down. Or the other default is whenever the girls that he wanted to pull, that's cool with just sex or temporary intentions, or cool that, with him going with different girls and doing whatever he do, they don't want anything serious any more than he does. He now has to use his money to pull them. Because a woman that has temporary intentions, usually she's only going to be able to be interested in a guy for one or two reasons. Either one, he looks like he can blow her back out. He looks good to her. He's handsome to her. But let me tell you something, a dude that's in his 40s or 50s, visibly beyond his prime, he ain't exciting no woman with that Viagra dick that he got to offer. She can look at him and tell he ain't even got the core or the leg strength to really blow her mind, even if he can get his dick up. So he better be ready to pay some bills or sponsor some trips to Miami or something like that. So if his money ain't that long, then yeah, by default, he's going to want to settle down. The second category of dudes that like to settle down once they're 45 and 50 years old are the guys that don't really want to settle down. They just want to narrow down who they play games with. Like their character ain't changed one bit. They're just making a lifestyle adjustment since they're older now. They don't want to run wild with all these different women. They want their favorite one to come home to a little stability, a little consistency. And that's not to say that a guy can never change. If you watch my videos, then I'm a huge advocate that guys can change. Hell, I wouldn't even talk to them if I felt like they couldn't. But we're usually presented with the proposition to change in our mid-20s. And it may take a couple of years to get our actions to align with this new epiphany and outlook, and understanding that the grass is actually greener on the other side of dealing with just one woman and treating her right. But if a dude is still playing games, I say beyond age 31, 32, if he's a late bloomer, then no, he gonna be playing games to the day that he die. He just want to play games with less women. Like, for instance, those who know Stevie J, he's a reality star, throwing drinks across the table, shit like that. He tweeted today that he was ready for a wife after 6 kids and 5 baby mamas, after $1.3 million in back child support that he almost went to prison for not paying, after spending his best years womanizing, now he's ready for a wife. Which, at this point, hell, with all that baggage, I can see why he'd want some help carrying him. But that's pretty much a call to any woman that's desperate enough for the title of wife, who's going to confuse a man saying that he wants a wife with him also being ready to be a husband, to go ahead, line up and shoot their shot to get what will be a meaningless ring from him. And I explain all of that to say this: don't be that woman. But y'all let me know what you think in the comments, man. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.